Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Ray. Welcome to my channel. This is the first time you're seeing one of my posts. I'd like to say thank you actually, because this week I've got 15,000 subscribers, which is amazing. And I wanted to acknowledge that because it's wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. I hope what I share is helpful in any way, in some way. Today I feel inspired to talk about something that I put in my very first post a year ago, pretty much, which is about lack and scarcity, and how if we've experienced stress for a very long time, starting in childhood, most likely, it is most likely that your nervous system is primed for scarcity, for poverty, for lack. Is that constant search for something that's missing. And I want to say up front, what you're searching for is within who you are. You hold everything that you need. And I talk about this so much, but it's in that conscious connection that you're going to find this. And it sounds like a cliche. You know, you are everything that you need, and all that wealth that you're looking for, whether it's emotional, financial, material, in any area of life, the abundance is found within this connection. And if you stay in the mind and treat it as something that we say, it will sound like a cliche. But I guarantee you, if you start to consciously connect with your body, what you're feeling with yourself, you will find that missing something. And it's in childhood that we start to experience that. And we start to experience it because what we need, whether it's affection, consideration, kindness, support, validation, love, anything that we need as a human being, these fundamental needs, if that's missing in some way because the people around us are also in that lack, that disconnect that stress created, and have learnt that that is life and that's what we can expect and that's what's reflected in some way in your own experience as a child, we start to believe that there's something wrong, there's something missing. And we start to look for those missing things outside of ourselves, in relationships, in trying hard, in pleasing others. In so many different ways we try and find that thing that seems to be lacking. And it's in coming back to yourself and all the discomfort that we feel in lack. And again, the nervous system, your nervous system will be primed, will be looking for that missing something, because that's what it's learnt from a very early age. There's something not right. There's something wrong. There's something missing in who I am. There's not enough. I'm not enough. But that's not true. And perhaps you know that fundamentally, deep down, that there is nothing wrong with you. It's just what you learnt through the reflections of somebody else who was also in that lack. And the question is, how do we shift out of that experience, mindset, emotionally, what we feel in the body that keeps us looking for something? The nervous system always searching or always focused on what's missing. That's the interesting thing, rather than what's already there. That's the prosperity, the abundance. And again, it's in every area of life. When we're looking at this missing something, it's not just, you might be able to see that. How is lack and what was created in stress and that disconnect and that belief that you're not enough, not good enough, something wrong, how is that lack or poverty or scarcity showing up in your life today? Is it in your health? How you feel physically? Is it emotionally? How you feel about yourself? And how does that affect your relationships in any area of life? Family, work, friends? Is it in the material? Is it financial? Do you experience financial lack, scarcity? And it's in how you've learnt to see yourself, how you learnt to value yourself, how you learnt that you were valued. And again, this is how the people around you at any time in life, but particularly in the beginning, in your childhood, how they were able to value themselves. And that reflection, in the disconnect that stress creates, primes your nervous system for lack, for scarcity, for not enough. And it will keep you focused on that until you bring in the awareness that that's what your mind is doing. That's what your emotions are telling you. That's what your body is expressing. And again, it's in that conscious connection as you come back within to what you're feeling. Meet yourself there, because everything you're feeling, all that discomfort, is part of you and your body saying, give me the attention I deserve. Give me the support I deserve. Give me everything I deserve, because I am worthy of the attention, And if you are ignoring that, and of course we don't like what feels uncomfortable, and it's difficult to be with pain and anger and physical discomfort in any way. But if we continue to ignore that, we're saying we're not worthy of attention. We're not worthy of support. It's not worth my time and energy and effort. And that's what shifts as you come back and consciously connect and you meet what your body is communicating and what you didn't receive at any time in life, but most likely in childhood. The validation, the support, the affection, the consideration, the kindness, the courage. It takes courage to be present with what's uncomfortable. And sometimes the people around us, they don't have that courage either. They don't know how to be present with the things that feel uncomfortable. Again, this is a pattern that gets passed on. And so the moment you are conscious of this hurts, or this is uncomfortable in some way in your body, the stress, that contraction, that discomfort caused by stress, and the disconnect that you may have been in for years, ignoring yourself, ignoring your needs, ignoring your worth, your innate worth, you bring your awareness back. You come into the body, you're present with yourself because you deserve that, to give yourself that. Every time you do that, every time you meet that discomfort, you don't have to do anything. Your presence is enough. I say this so many times, your presence is enough. Being present with yourself, what you feel, is saying, what I feel matters, I matter. Show yourself kindness, compassion, no matter what you're feeling, because you deserve that. And as you're in that presence with what you're feeling, in that conscious connection, progressively over time, you will come to understand that you are everything that you're looking for and you are worthy. And that gradually your nervous system will start to notice what is already there. And it will start to be primed for abundance and prosperity and everything that it is that you've been looking for, believe me. And yeah, it seems perhaps too simple, or I don't know, you tell me how that feels, how that resonates. I found online yesterday, scrolling as you do, a poem by Rumi, and it's The Human as a Guest House. And it really brought me back to this conscious connection. You know, we don't like to feel what's uncomfortable, but if we meet ourselves and meet everything that we're experiencing, what we're feeling, we're going to find everything that we're looking for. We're going to find the comfort. We're going to find the value, the innate worth. We're going to find so much in the experience of being. I'll post a link to the poem by Rumi in the description box, along with a link to the Alchemy of Stress. This was my process to remembering and to shifting my nervous system from scarcity, lack and poverty to the abundance that already is within who I am. And I know that it's within who you are as well. This is why I'm here, a year on, still sharing what I know. And coming full circle, it really is a full circle moment for me. As I read that poem by Rumi yesterday, or I listened to it rather, it was put to music, it spoke to me in a completely different way. And I understood that through this journey over the past year, past 10, 15 years, that I have learned so much, remembered so much in that conscious connection. So, as always, I hope this was helpful. I love to read your comments. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you in the next post.